Hey, Professor Mello.
Um, this is my extra credit video that I will be doing. Welcome to my room.
This is my closet. It's my wall.
That's my window. And the state of my desk, I won't show you right now because of the awful finals week that this has been. But that's besides the point. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the questions that you asked. I wrote down my notes. So first of all, why did I enroll in these courses? Well, I'll take you back to like the beginning, I think, of accounting. So MGT, 11A and B. Yeah, I remember learning about like what a debit and what a credit was. And I remember like after my first midterm, I was like, wow, like this is actually really cool. Like this is like a new like language of math, I feel like. And I felt like it really clicked well with me and it came fast. So I was like, like let's do this for a little bit. And I at the time did not know that I would be doing the minor. Fast forward a few years later, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my career, and I felt like I wanted some more like hard skills than just like a general what a general major would provide. And I heard a lot of good things about the accounting minor, so I decided to give it a shot. So I actually promised Harrison, I told Harrison that if he took MGT 101 with me, that I would take it with him and that we would try it out and see if it's for us. So look where that brought us. So yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do like long term, and I thought this would be a good way to open some doors. I knew that I was good at it and I liked it. So 3 good things. Were the classes what I thought? Yes and no. I had heard some things. I had heard that they were really hard. I had heard that they were really well taught. And I honestly did not expect the amount of like hands-on work that we would do. I expected a lot more like boring Excel, just reading off slides, not really like super exciting. And I would always wonder like how everybody would say like that, oh, Professor Mello makes it like so you're really like excited about the topic. I would always wonder how a professor would do that for accounting, but I stand corrected. Like, you were right. It's good. I really enjoyed how you applied like real life experiences to it and all that fun stuff. So in that sense, no, it wasn't what I thought. It wasn't boring. It was engaging. It was friendly. But in terms of the difficulty, yeah, it's exactly what I expected. It was hard. It was challenging. It made me think, and it really made me put in the work. Probably more than my major classes, if I'm being honest. Because I cared. Let's see. Next, you asked what learning approach worked the best for me. So, I mean, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of this answer, but like the case studies was like so big for my learning because I'm definitely like, I learn as I do. So like if I just hear someone say something, I won't absorb it as well as actually doing it myself. And so I think walking through with the class like how to do certain problems or how to think or how to spot out what facts you need, like that's exactly how I learn. And yeah, it was just great to also just have the physical paper and pencil. I've always, up until this year actually, I always took paper pen notes until like I just folded and got an iPad because my backpack got too heavy. But it was a good way for me to just, I guess, connect with my roots in that sense of just writing something down and being able to feel like pencil to paper. Something else that worked for me a lot was studying in a group, specifically with either Ava, who I sit with, or Luke. We actually got really close this year because of this class. I actually did not like him at first. We worked together and I'm his supervisor, and I used to think he was just like really lazy. But then I actually got to know him, and he's really hardworking, and we both joke that individually we're A- students, but together we make an A+ student. So that really worked well with me because, like you said, like he would fill in things that I didn't know and I would fill in things that he didn't know, and that's how we could help each other like that. So yeah. Did I adapt this approach?
Yes.
But I would say I only adapted in 107 because for a while, you know, just running through the case studies and the review packets, like, that would work for me. And it would make me, like, do pretty well in the multiple choice. But it was the first test of 107, I eventually had to adapt because that was the first time only studying case studies didn't cut it. And I studied and I did horrible. So I learned that, okay, like, I can't just, like, rely on this anymore. I actually have to go back and look at the PowerPoint. I need to look at my notes, rewrite the notes, comprehend everything, and, like, really, like, strategize on how I'm going to study this multiple choice. Because for the first time, like, the case studies just, like, hadn't gotten me there. Like, I did fine in the free response, but not the multiple choice. So, yeah. Oh, also the learning objectives. That's what I started to do because at a certain point, like, if you're redoing the case studies over and over again, you kind of just memorize the answers and memorize what to do, but you don't actually, like, know how to do it or, like, know how you got that answer. So that's why I started to look back at the learning objectives so I could really see a problem, like, fresh again. Yeah, that was basically it. So if I would have modified my process, like, I would have probably started looking at the learning objectives and the slides more instead of just, like, pounding my head on a wall for the case studies. Next is skills developed. So again, I'm pretty sure you've probably gotten a lot of this, but I think top for me is critical thinking. I was discussing with Ava, we just finished tanning outside, and we talked about how I used to, maybe in other classes, really, like, need something walked through for me, step by step for me to really get it, but here I really got to learn those hard skills of just, like, being able to see something and be confident that I could solve it if I just tried hard enough and use my brain a little bit. So yeah, and also just, like, perseverance and networking. I met a ton of great people through accounting or just deepen my relationships that I know will carry me forward in, like, my professional life. And that kind of swings into my applications of my career. I won't always have an answer key, and, like, that's okay. If I just work at something, I'll have a team with me. I can use my network to help me out. Like, not always having the answer is okay because that's, like, ultimately what I'm being paid to do, to find the answer. Struggles. I already talked about the humbling blow of the first midterm of 107. How I, like, basically failed the multiple choice. Even though I worked hard, I could have adjusted my strategies. I think that senioritis was horrible for me. Luckily, I pushed through, but, like, it's really hard to stay motivated when you have that job offer or you have that grad school letter and you just know your future and you're just like, why do I even try? But I'm proud to say that I finished strong. Hopefully, the grades aren't out yet, but hopefully I finished strong. Yeah. Let me look at the next question really quick. Few things I could have done to overcome the obstacles better. Honestly, I don't think I would change a thing because I'm really glad with the relationships that I cultivated throughout this and my strategies, my learning abilities that I really got to, like, hone in on. Finally, my perspective on my future career in accounting. I'm excited. So when I came into your 103 class, I actually did have a job offer in hand, and I ended up turning it down in the winter because I decided I was going to do MPAC. And a little bit later, I pulled some strings and I ended up being able to defer that job offer from actually Arthur Andersen, just now Andersen. So yeah, I'm super excited. I get to go in and get my master's and still have my job after, which is really awesome. And I think that
I love this like little community.
And people, you know, put the stereotype on accounting that it's boring or whatever, but it's exciting. Honestly, it tells a story, like you say, and I'm really stoked to finally be graduated, but I'll miss it. I'll miss this time, but I'm excited to earn a little money. So yeah, I know this video went a little long. Maybe I'll edit it a little bit, but I just wanted to say a huge thank you to your passion. It really shows. You know, some teachers are there to do a job, but some teachers are there because they love it, and you're one of those teachers that just loves their job, and I can tell that, and so can, I'm sure, hundreds and hundreds of other students out there. So yeah, honestly, keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring, keep
doing case studies,
and hopefully there's no fire.